Mother Teresa, known worldwide as a symbol of compassion and altruism, was born Agnes Gongsha Bojaxiu on August 26, 1910, in Skopje, then part of the Ottoman Empire. She was baptized the following day, considering August 27th to be her real birthday. Raised in a politically active family, her father's death in 1919 had a profound influence on her early life, fueling her commitment to the service of others. From an early age, Agnes was captivated by stories of missionaries in Bengal, which inspired her to dedicate her life to religious service. This determination was further strengthened on August 15, 1928, when she felt a profound call while praying at the sacred shrine of the Black Madonna of the ethnic group, a place she often visited. At the age of 18, motivated by this spiritual awakening, she left for Rathfarnham, Ireland, to join the Sisters of Loreto at Loreto Monastery. Her aim was to learn the English language she would need for her future missionary work in India. In Calcutta, Mother Teresa's tireless efforts to help the poorest and most destitute made her a beacon of love, mercy, and charity. She founded the Missionaries of Charity in 1950, an organization that flourished under her leadership, bringing aid to many countries and continuing long after her death. Despite her saintly image, Mother Teresa faced internal conflicts and spiritual struggles, particularly towards the end of her life. She revealed a deeply guarded secret just before her death, showing the world a more vulnerable and human side. This revelation, kept secret until her final days, brought to light the complexities of her faith and devotion, challenging the perfect image many had of her. Her profound impact earned her the Nobel Peace Prize and numerous other awards, in recognition of her efforts to fight poverty and bring aid to areas in distress. However, her methods and the quality of care provided by her organization have come under scrutiny and criticism, including allegations of forced conversions and inadequate medical care. Mother Teresa's journey, from her early inspirations to her extensive charity work and the controversies she faced, paints a portrait of a complex figure whose life was driven by a powerful mission to serve humanity. Her legacy, both revered and debated, continues to influence and inspire many people around the world. After her deep involvement in Calcutta, Mother Teresa's journey took an important turn that would further define her mission of compassion. In 1929, she arrived in India and began her novitiate in the serene setting of Darjeeling in the low Himalayan mountains. This period was marked by her deep commitment to learning Bengali and her role as a teacher at St. Teresa's School, near her convent. On May 24, 1931, she took her first religious vows, adopting the name Thérèse in honor of the patron saint of missionaries, Thérèse de Lisieux. As another nun had already chosen this name, she adapted it to the Spanish spelling, becoming known as Teresa. Her dedication was reinforced on May 14, 1937, when she took her solemn vows while teaching at the Loreto Convent School in Entali, east of Calcutta, and began to be called Mother Teresa, in keeping with Loreto tradition. Mother Teresa's determination was tested and strengthened by the extreme poverty she witnessed daily in Calcutta, compounded by the Bengal famine of 1943 and the violence of Direct Action Day in 1946. These events deeply disturbed her, despite her role as a missionary. It was during a train journey to Darjeeling for a retreat on September 10, 1946, that she felt what she would later describe as a call within a call. This profound spiritual experience prompted her to leave the convent and serve the needy directly, living among them. In 1948, embracing her new vocation, Mother Teresa abandoned her traditional Loreto garb for a simple white cotton sari with blue trim, symbolizing her new mission. She also took on Indian nationality and received basic medical training at Patna's Holy Family Hospital, preparing her for the challenges she would face in the slums of Calcutta. In early 1949, her efforts began to take shape with the support of a group of young women, laying the foundations for what was to become the Missionaries of Charity. This initiative soon attracted the attention of the Indian authorities and even the Prime Minister. On October 7, 1950, with Vatican approval, Mother Teresa created the diocesan congregation that would become the Missionaries of Charity. Her mission was clear: to care for the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the crippled, the blind, the lepers, all those who feel unwanted, unloved, and neglected by society as a whole, people who have become a burden on society and are rejected by all. Her compassion led her to open her first hospice in 1952, transforming an abandoned Hindu temple into the Kaligat Home for the Dying, later renamed Nirmal Hriday, or Home of the Pure Heart. This establishment provided a place where the destitute could receive medical care and die with dignity, while respecting their religious beliefs. This was just the beginning of what would become a worldwide effort to alleviate suffering and provide care for the most marginalized. Mother Teresa's unwavering commitment to her vocation not only challenged societal norms, but also set a new standard for humanitarian aid. Mother Teresa's efforts went beyond meeting basic needs. In her hospices, respect for each person's faith and traditions was paramount. Muslims were given the Quran to read, Hindus the water of the Ganges, and Catholics the sacrament of extreme Ganges, unity. This approach ensured that each person could leave this life with dignity and, according to their own beliefs, what Mother Teresa called a beautiful death. She also created Shantinagar, the City of Peace, a hospice specifically for people suffering from leprosy. Her dedication to leprosy extended to the establishment of clinics throughout Calcutta, providing not only medical treatment but also food and bandages, affirming her commitment to treating every individual with dignity. The growing number of homeless children led Mother Teresa to open Nirmala Shishu Bhavan, the Immaculate Heart Children's Home, in 1955. This home became a sanctuary for orphans and homeless youngsters, offering them a chance of a fulfilling and secure life. In 1963, the Brothers of the Missionaries of Charity were founded, and in 1976, a contemplative branch of sisters was established, broadening the spiritual and service dimensions of its mission. Catholic and non-Catholic lay people were welcomed as collaborators in various capacities, underscoring Mother Teresa's inclusive approach to charity and service to the community. To meet the needs of priests and unite the vocational goals of the Missionaries of Charity with the resources of the priesthood, Mother Teresa founded the Corpus Christi movement for priests in 1981 and established the Missionary Fathers of Charity with Joseph Langford in 1983. By the time of her death in 1997, the Missionaries of Charity had grown from a small group of 13 members in Calcutta to over 4,000 sisters worldwide, overseeing orphanages, AIDS hospices, and charity centers around the globe. They care for refugees, the blind, the disabled, the elderly, alcoholics, the poor, and victims of natural disasters, epidemics, and famine. In 2007, the organization numbered some 450 brothers and 5,000 sisters, operating 600 missions in 120 countries. Throughout her life, Mother Teresa maintained a complex identity: Albanian by blood, Indian by citizenship, epidemics, and Catholic by faith. She traveled the world to carry out humanitarian work, notably in Belfast in 1971, and in Chernobyl and Armenia in the 1990s. Despite her considerable influence and the praise she received, Mother Teresa experienced a profound inner struggle with her faith for almost 5 decades. She expressed her deep uncertainty about the existence of God and the anguish of her lack of faith. This experience of spiritual dryness, which she shared privately, reflected a night of emptiness similar to that experienced by other saints, including Teresa of Lisieux. James Langford later declared that such doubts were common among saints and would not prevent his canonization. After her brief resurgence of faith in 1958, following the death of Pope Pius XV, Mother Teresa was once again confronted with the profound spiritual emptiness that had long challenged her. Despite this recurring spiritual dryness, she continued to communicate her innermost struggles in numerous letters to her confessors and superiors, including the Archbishop of Calcutta and the Jesuit priest Celeste van Exem, her spiritual advisor since the founding of the Missionaries of Charity. Mother Teresa's intimate confessions are extensively documented in these letters, in which she expresses her feelings of silence and emptiness. She pleaded for these letters to be destroyed, fearing they would divert attention from the divine purpose of her mission to her personal spiritual struggles. However, her correspondence survived and was subsequently published, revealing to the world the depth of her spiritual crises. In her communications, particularly with her friend Michael van der Peer, she vividly describes her sense of isolation from God despite her intense devotion and service. She implored Michael to pray for her so that she could fully surrender herself to Jesus, reflecting her continual struggle to reconcile her inner spiritual turmoil with her outward acts of charity. Her life and spiritual practices were highlighted in Pope Benedict XV's first encyclical, Deus Caritas Est, where she is mentioned 3 times as an example of how prayer and active service are intrinsically linked, each enriching the other. Although not a Franciscan, Mother Teresa was deeply influenced by St. Francis of Assisi, adopting many aspects of his approach to poverty, chastity, and obedience, which she integrated into the daily practices of the Missionaries of Charity. They recited the prayer of St. Francis every morning, imbibing her devotion to the poor and her concern for humility and service. Mother Teresa's commitment to her mission earned her numerous awards, including several prestigious Indian prizes, such as the Padma Shri in 1962 and the Bharat Ratna in 1980. Such was her influence that, on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of her birth, the Indian government issued a special 5 rupee coin commemorating her arrival in India in the same denomination, symbolizing the circle she had brought full circle. Internationally, her work was recognized with the Ramon Magsaysay Peace Prize in 1962 for her compassionate devotion to the impoverished people of a foreign land, underscoring her impact far beyond India's borders. His worldwide recognition increased with the release of Malcolm Muggeridge's 1969 BBC documentary, Something Beautiful for God, depicting his work in Calcutta. The documentary, initially poorly lit, eventually turned out to be very bright, which Muggeridge attributed to a miraculous divine light associated with Teresa, although others attributed it to advanced film technology. This period marked an important chapter in her life, as Mother Teresa's fame grew and her mission expanded worldwide. Her ability to touch hearts extended beyond her immediate interactions, influencing even those who, like Muggeridge, deepened their spiritual commitments by converting to Catholicism, inspired by Mother Teresa's faith and devotion. In the closing years of the 20th century, Mother Teresa's stature as a symbol of compassion and service expanded considerably, even if not without controversy. In 1971, Pope Paul VI awarded her the first John XXIII Peace Prize, in recognition of her commitment to serving the poor as the embodiment of Christian charity and her efforts to promote peace. Her dedication was further recognized in 1976 when she was awarded the Pacem in Terris Prize, named after Pope John XXIII's encyclical advocating universal peace. Mother Teresa's path to sainthood was marked by numerous recognitions from religious institutions and international organizations. In 1982, she was made an honorary companion of the Order of Australia for her exemplary service to humanity. This recognition was followed by prestigious awards from other countries, including the UK Order of Merit in 1983 and honorary citizenship of the USA in 1996. Her native Albania awarded her the nation's gold medal in 1994. Throughout her life, Mother Teresa continued to be recognized for her humanitarian efforts. She was awarded the Balsan Prize in 1978 for promoting humanity, peace, and fraternity between peoples, as well as the Albert Schweitzer International Prize in 1975. Her influence extended to the academic world, where she received honorary degrees from several prestigious universities. In 1976, during a visit to the University of Scranton, she was awarded the La Estorta Medal for Human Service. On this occasion, she urged an audience of over 4,500 people to reach out to the poor in their community, stressing the importance of small acts of kindness. She believed that helping the poor could also enrich a person's spiritual life, as they represent Christ in the form of suffering. In August 1987, she received an honorary doctorate and addressed a large congregation, stressing the importance of performing small acts with great love. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Mother Teresa consistently ranked among the most admired women in Gallup's annual surveys, and was posthumously recognized as the most admired person of the 20th century in 1999. However, her reputation was not unanimous. Her detractors, including Arup Chatterjee, accused her of promoting a distorted image of Calcutta and embezzling funds. Bikash Ranjan Bhattacharya, former mayor of Calcutta, claimed that its impact on the city's poor was minimal and that it glorified suffering rather than alleviating it. Political controversies also surrounded it, notably with the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Bajrang Dal, who criticized it for focusing on conversions. Despite these criticisms, many continue to honor her legacy, seeing her life's work as a beacon of hope and a symbol of selfless charity. Mother Teresa's final years were marked by both declining health and continued recognition of her lifelong commitment to charity. She suffered a heart attack in 1983 while visiting Pope John Paul II in Rome, and faced further health complications with a second heart attack in 1989, which led to the implantation of a pacemaker. In 1991, after suffering pneumonia in Mexico, she experienced further heart problems, highlighting the worsening of her condition despite her unshakable spirit. Despite these health problems, Mother Teresa offered to resign as head of the Missionaries of Charity, but the sisters of the congregation, showing their unwavering support and faith in her leadership, voted by secret ballot for her to continue. In 1996, her health deteriorated further after a fall broke her collarbone, followed by a diagnosis of malaria and heart failure. The seriousness of her condition prompted the Archbishop of Calcutta, Henry Sebastian de Souza, to request an exorcism, believing that her health problems might have spiritual roots. On March 13, 1997, recognizing her physical limitations, Mother Teresa resigned from the leadership of the Missionaries of Charity. She died on September 5, 1997, leaving behind a monumental legacy. Her death was greeted by widespread mourning. In honor of her contributions, the Indian government organized a state funeral, an exceptional honor usually reserved for heads of state, underscoring the profound impact of her humanitarian work on communities of all faiths. During the funeral, Mother Teresa's body lay in state in an open coffin at St. Thomas's, Calcutta, where thousands of people from all walks of life came to pay their respects. Many dignitaries attended the state funeral, which was marked by an address from Cardinal Secretary of State Angelo Sodano, representing Pope John Paul II, who delivered a moving homily praising her life dedicated to serving humanity's poorest. The news of Mother Teresa's death prompted expressions of grief and admiration around the world. Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif described her as an extraordinary person who dedicated her life to noble causes, praising her unwavering commitment to the poor, the sick, and the marginalized. UN's Secretary-General Javier Pérez de Cuellar remarked that Mother Teresa embodied the spirit of the United Nations and was a symbol of world peace. In December 2015, Pope Francis recognized a second miracle attributed to Mother Teresa, namely the healing of a Brazilian man suffering from multiple brain tumors. This recognition paved the way for her canonization, which was finalized on September 4, 2016, during a grand ceremony in St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. Back in Skopje, her hometown, and in Calcutta, where she dedicated much of her life, celebrations were held in honor of her canonization. The Missionaries of Charity organized a special Mass on September 4, 2017, to commemorate the event, and it was announced that Mother Teresa would be honored as the sole patroness of the Archdiocese of Calcutta. On the first anniversary of her canonization, Archbishop Thomas de Souza confirmed that she would be named co-patron alongside St. Francis Xavier, symbolizing her enduring spiritual legacy. Mother Teresa's journey, marked by her deep faith and tireless service, ended with her recognition as a saint, but her legacy continues to provoke reflection, inspire acts of charity, and spark debate about the nature of holiness and the complexities of her life's work.